Because I have autism and ADHD, I've got like some base special interests, like I said, Lego and Doctor Who. And then I have like special interests that last for a shorter amount of time but have an equal level of intensity. And I don't know whether my love for tea is going to be that or whether it's going to be a lifelong love for tea, but sometimes that happens. You've also got ADHD, James. Do you feel like that impacts your experience of special interests?
Yeah, I think I have quite a negative view of that sometimes, where, for example, with programming, it's so in-depth and I'm having to constantly reflect on things that I've done and I'm constantly typing, constantly learning new things. Sometimes my attention starts to strain and I get quite frustrated that I can't return back to where I was without, having to go back a few pages, having to undo a few things to try and catch up where I am and what's going on. But I also think it's quite good at the same time because you can get really absorbed by your special interest. If I'm staring at a screen all day, I come away with migraines, I don't sleep properly at night, my eyes are spinning in the back of my head because it's just all I've been doing is focusing on this one screen. So it is good that my ADHD sort of pulls me away and, takes me to other places. But at the same time, it's frustrating. It's a balancing act. I don't think it evens itself out. I think you just have extremes of sort of the negative and extremes of the positive. But, when it's positive, ride that wave. When it's negative, just try and listen to it, maybe be distracted, take your break, and then come straight back.
That made me think that sometimes my ADHD actively stops me from engaging with my special interests because I'll be like, right, I'm going to work and then I'm going to do my special interest for 2 hours. And I'll sit down and my ADHD will be like, just quickly check your phone, and then you'll do your special interest. And then 2 hours pass by. It's time for me to do my next task. And I haven't had the time that I need, and I can feel how that impacts my levels of anxiety and how well I'm feeling. And that can be really frustrating. Roz, have you got any advice on how to avoid that ADHD kind of distractibility stopping an autistic person engaging in that special interest in the way that we need to?
So I definitely think the first step is recognising it. So going, okay, I do this. And also think about how you're thinking about that. If you're thinking negatively about being distracted, it's like, well, actually, can you look at it differently? Is your distraction trying to tell you something? Like, have you been looking at a screen for too long? And then in terms of distractions such as the phone, it's about going, well, my phone distracts me, and what if when I'm doing work and then I'm going to move on to special interests, can I do it where I move my phone out of the environment so that I maybe have to go to the place my special interest is to get your phone, and then you're like, oh, actually, my phone's not as interesting as what I was going to do. So it's about putting in strategies to help combat the things that are stopping you from doing the things that you're doing. But the first step is always to recognise it's happening and to try and figure out maybe why it's happening or what exactly is happening, and then go, well, what's the barrier that I can kind of just sidestep around to get to the point where, you get to engage.
There's a couple of things going on there, isn't there? There's that kind of ADHD tendency to just obsess, which kind of is also an autism thing, so maybe it's a double whammy. And I find that also can leak into kind of the special interest thing, in that people talk about the great thing about ADHD is that people with ADHD can hyper-focus and achieve these amazing things, right? But then we have these autistic special interests. So essentially what I end up doing is hyper-focusing on something extremely obscure and getting bored with it once I've bought all the equipment and got really into it 2 weeks later and not actually doing anything with it.
That's me. That is so me. I don't know if you know, I brought a Cricut maker to make stickers because of my YouTube, and I draw for ADHD. And I bought a Cricut machine, and it was a lot of money, and I brought the paper, the printer. And then after 2 weeks, I was like, actually, I don't like this. So it's just sat in my log cabin, and I just look at it sometimes, and I'm just like, why did I do that? Really, what would make me want to do that again? Crazy.
We should have an ADHD hobby swap site where we all swap the kit that we've bought for things that we no longer want to do. I've got a canoe, I've got a Cricut maker. Let's swap.
I'll do that.
Yeah.